Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This is the boy in blue. Now, this video is pretty much going to be kind of a rant about ABC and a lot of the stuff that they have going on right now with their shows and with what are no longer their shows. So, some of you should have a good idea where this video is going to eventually go to. But let's build up to that. So, let's start with Grey's Anatomy. I hardly recognize the show at all. It has completely transformed. It's literally like an alchemist came in and took, let's say like, it was a gorgeous apple, just crisp and green, because I like green apples, crisp and green, and then they just transformed it into stone. And it's hard and just lifeless, and you can't do anything with it. You can't possibly eat it. So all you can do is just throw it down and walk away. It's kind of how I feel about Grey's Anatomy right now. You know, a lot of the characters that I really loved are gone. And the ones that remain, I've read some things that they've done, you know, in terms of changes and character development. Yeah, that's what I'm looking down. It's my notes. Like changes. You know, for example, Bailey apparently has OCD. Because, yeah, that makes sense. All these years, and they just now know this? Yeah. Alright. Anyway, so yeah, Grey's Anatomy, non-recognizable. Without Derek, without Izzy, without George, I could kind of deal with the Izzy thing for a little bit, because we still had Derek, we still had, Mark and Lexi and like all of them, but they're all gone one way or another. Hardly recognize Grey's Anatomy. Stopped watching it back at season 7, so that's how much I care about the show now. Now Scandal. Scandal I watched last night, the season finale, and that was one of the main forces that prompted me to do this video in the first place. Now, the show is still great. I still love it. I love most of the characters. I really love Liv. I really love Kerry Washington. I'm all about this show. I am definitely in, and I'm still going to keep watching the show. But one thing that I feel like they need to change is the fact that Liv, for the life of me and like everyone else, why can't this beautiful, beautiful, powerful Black woman have stagnant dick around? Like, all they ever want to do is do this like will they won't they bullshit with either Fitz or Jake, and they act like those are like her only two options. They briefly had her with a guy earlier this season played by Brian White, who is a Black actor who is fine, and I was kind of for that until we found out he was a B613 agent, I believe planted by her father to like spy on her or some shit, or to kill, I think he tried to like kill Jake. It was a bunch of shit, and he ended up got by the ghost. At least I think so. I think he got killed, yeah. Anyway, so that didn't work out. But yeah, they keep just doing this will they won't they bullshit with her, and it's just like, okay, if you're not gonna put her with Fitz, and you're not gonna put her with Jake, and you can't have them just like fucking be together, why can't you just let her be with someone else? She's in fucking DC. There's plenty of good, you know, stable dick around for her to have. And it's like, she's the protagonist of this show. It just looks extra problematic to me because she is a Black female protagonist in this show, and she just cannot catch a break when it comes to her love life. It's crazy. Whereas if you watch just about any other show on ABC or anywhere else, they always have some stable relationship, at least for a while. Like, at least they get like a full season of that, you know? I'll get into relationships in the next part of the video, which I'll get into in just a moment. But yeah, I find it problematic that she just can't catch a break with her love life. Personally, I would prefer her, if it has to be between Fitz or Jake, let it be Jake. Because Fitz is horrible. He is horrible to her. All respect to the actor, he seems like a nice guy. And he is quite attractive, so I see where the appeal is. But at the same time, the way he treats her is so just, oh, it's disgusting. I'm like, dude, you do not own her. Like, I need you to not. I need you to seriously, like, back the fuck up. Because, no. She... Well, I guess the dick's that good if, like, she kept going back despite the way that he treated her, you know? And Melly. Like, he's horrible. He was horrible to his wife. And Melly deserved better, too. That's another character who's getting screwed over, but it's not about Melly, it's about Liv. This is literally Liv's show, so why can't Liv get someone and be with them and just be with them? You know, is it too boring for people that she's not having a bunch of relationship drama and that it's not a bunch of will they, won't they bullshit? Like, let's dispense with that. You know? Work with me. Anyway, so next. This show's a doozy. Once Upon a Time. Okay. Like with Scandal and Grey's Anatomy, and well, other than like a couple of shows on here that I watched from the beginning, basically, I kind of started late on it, and I watched it on Netflix, and I kind of played catch up with it. I do enjoy the show to a degree. You know, I love fairy tales. I love, you know, Disney fairy tales. I'm a 90s baby. You know, we're all about Disney most of the time, most of us. You know, I was raised on it. I'm very familiar with a lot of the characters and the things. I love the Disney princesses. I always did. And, you know, those kinds of characters have a very special place in my heart and in my nostalgia because I was raised on it and I love it. However, in Once Upon a Time, I find it very suspicious, very suspect that no person of color, no matter who it is treated with any measure of respect. Especially if the person of color is supposed to be a person of color. And in this case, I'm referring to Regina because the actress is Latina, but the character is not. Her parents are both white in the show, and she's basically played as white. Her ethnicity is never addressed. She's never, you know, said to be anything other than white. They don't say that she's white, but come on, her parents are played by white people. She's white. That's what she's supposed to be. And they do that a lot with Latino characters, I notice. In other shows. And I'll probably talk about them in another video. But other characters like Sydney Glass, you know, just fucked over all the time. And the actor was freaking, what's his name in Breaking Bad? Gustavo Fring. Gus Fring. He was one of the best characters on that show and is a high caliber actor. And I've seen him in a lot of other stuff. He's always been amazing. But in this show, they don't give him anything to do. They give him nothing to do other than to be somebody's bitch and then to go away and get put on a bus. Nothing to do. Let's see. But however, in more recent times, because that's kind of been happening with Sydney Glass, in more recent times, they finally decided to deliver on their promise to bring a same-sex couple to the show. And I'm not current on Once Upon a Time, but I did read the spoilers and, you know, I researched it. And I found out that they gave it to, spoiler alert, by the way, for Once Upon a Time. If you didn't see it, if you want to see it, if you're not current, go ahead and exit off this video. But I'm warning you now, just back away. Back away. Okay? Still here? All right. So they gave it to Ruby, aka Red, Little Red Riding Hood, and although she's not little, she's a grown woman. Red and Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. So, you know, a lot of people, I don't know how a lot of people feel about it. I'm sure that people were happy about it. The reason why I'm not happy about it is because, one, it was a one-off. They're probably never going to show up again. We may see them like in little cameos, like standing around holding hands or something, looking cute, and then immediately go back to Captain Swan or Robin Queen or whatever. And, you know, they're not going to like really be the focal point of the show at any point. Like no one's going to give them any screen time. It doesn't mean anything for me. So that's the one thing. And then on the other hand, what about Mulan? I mean, really? I'm like, okay, so back in season 2, they built up this entire thing about Mulan being in love with Aurora and you know, they had the scene where she went up to Aurora and she was about to tell her her feelings, and then Aurora cuts her off and tells her that she and Philip are expecting a baby, and is really happy about it. And then Mulan is just, she's very visibly heartbroken, and she decides to join Robin and his merry men. Which, of course, when we meet Robin and his merry men in season 3, or like later, I think also later on in season 2, I can't remember, she's not there. So it's like, where the fuck did Mulan go? And then, you know, they never give her any screen time. I know she's not one of the main characters. I know she's not like, you know, one of the main characters like that, but they don't really give her any screen time. They don't really discuss her backstory all that much. They didn't incorporate anything from her, like, Disney counterpart into the show, like they did with Aurora, or like Ariel to a degree, you know, something. Like with her, nothing. Because she was a princess. I don't know if she was actually a princess, but she was a girl who, you know, she dressed in feminine, you know, traditional attire for her culture, and she dressed up as a soldier, as a man, to fight for her village and her people, and to, you know, be the hero of her own movie. And that's part of Mulan's huge deal. Here they kind of just skip to, you know, her just, you know, carrying the sword and all that, although there's no, you know, question as to her gender, because, you know, we see her hair, we see, you know, everyone knows that she's a woman. So there's that. I guess it would take place after that. But we don't see any backstory, no parents, no nothing. They just don't care. So that's unfortunate for me, I think. Also, when she's about to tell Aurora she loves her, that whole thing is just completely dismissed and forgotten. Nobody ever mentions it again. And she kind of just gets put on a bus for a long time. Apparently she comes back, I want to say, in season 5, because Netflix so far only has the first 4 seasons. I need to like go on Hulu and watch season 5. But she comes back in season 5, but they don't really do anything with her, I don't think. And then, like I said, the same-sex relationship that happened doesn't include her, which is bullshit. I'm like, really? All right. And I mentioned Robin Hood, and also I mentioned Robin Queen, and also Captain Swan, which, for those who don't know, Captain Swan is the main couple of the show, the alpha couple of the protagonist Emma Swan, and then her main love interest, Captain Hook, Killian Hook. That's Captain Swan. And then we have Robin Hood and the evil queen, Regina Mills, Robin Queen. And both relationships for me are just complete bullshit. I don't like them. I'm not for them. Captain Hook is basically useless for me. He only ever is useful when he gets to like captain his ship or something, and that's about it, because all he's ever there to do is look hot and to give Emma something to drool over, and I'm just like, bye. And then Robin Hood, I understand that this is a fairy tale show, and like the whole true love destiny thing would definitely be a factor there, but I've never been a fan of that kind of thing in just about anything. It's like, oh, we're meant to be together because somebody said so. I'm like, bye. No, I want to be with you because I want to be with you. I want to be with you because I love you. I don't want to be with you because, oh, she used magic and said that that's my soulmate. Bye. I don't like the soulmate thing. I don't like the magic, you know, destiny bullshit. No. I want someone to be with me because they want to be with me. I don't want them to be with me because the stars said so. What's that gonna do for me? Like, no. Fuck that destiny shit. I've never been a fan of that. So anyway, off of Once Upon a Time. Now, How to Get Away with Murder is probably still, no, not even probably, it is my favorite show on ABC. Excellent character development, great diversity, another black female protagonist who is very complex, you know, teetering on that moral line. You know, she's always like kind of crossing the line or like flirting with that line. And, you know, it's just really fantastic. All the characters are like morally ambiguous in like one way or another. And it's just so interesting. I love the way that the show handles most things. But in season 2, one thing that has really bothered me is the way that they've changed Wes, who in season 1 was literally like the innocent one. He was the sweet, innocent one, you know, who barely got in because he was waitlisted, and, you know, he was just, he was just the sweetheart of the show. Just so cute, so adorable, and just super likable and relatable. But then in season 2, he just became an asshole. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, I know you loved Rebecca, but god damn, like, is it really that deep? Like, I know you'd be mad. Like, it's understandable, but dude, like, that was like a season ago. Get over it. That's probably how fucked up for me to say, but I don't know. I feel like they could have handled that differently. They could have made him not as douchey and like did more to make him more likable. I guess the storyline with his mother is helps people like not just say, oh, like, fuck Wes, I'm done with him, I'm done with the show, kind of thing, because that could have easily been me. It's nothing for me to drop a show. Like, I can easily drop just about anything. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like they yeah. Speaking of Rebecca, his girlfriend from season 1, I never liked her. She always was real suspect to me, real sketch. I never trusted her. She just always seemed guilty, if not of killing Lila, which we of course know she didn't. She just seemed like she just was. I don't know. She just irked me. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I never trusted her. She just was real suspect to me. Whatchamacallit? Okay, so Quantico, like How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal, Quantico is a really amazing. Actually, all these shows are great in some way or another. All of them, even Once Upon a Time, and it has its moments where it's pretty great. It's pretty good with action and all that, and I like how they handle magic. Except for that fucking ring about magic always comes with a price. I'm like, you always say that. I think we know by now. God damn, every season. I'm like, shit, every episode is like, magic always comes with a price. I'm like, can you just tattoo it on your forehead or something? Like, so we can stop hearing it? Dude, if it really does, stop using it. Ugh. Anyway, that was a little tirade. I apologize for that. Quantico. Quantico is also a really good show, a new show that has come out. It just wrapped up its first season. I really also, like with a lot of these other shows, I love the diversity. I love that we have an East Indian main character, Alex Parrish. She is so fine. She is so fine. And she is a good actress. She's amazing. I really love Alex. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love more representation because, obviously I'm about Black representation because of, but it's nice to see other people also get chances. And I've always felt like, Asians in particular never really get their due when it comes to representation in some of these shows and stuff. It's like they're never there. It's always like the same 5 Asian actors and everything. I'm like, can we give someone else something to do? And so I was really happy to see Quantico. Now, it is great. Just like with How to Get Away with Murder, it's great. It's paced well. It's interesting. Kind of has you on the edge of your seat. Really good like mystery type stuff going on. But one thing that's just like kind of going back to the Black representation thing. Why are there no Black characters of consequence in this show, especially Black male characters? Because we do have the director who is played by I don't know her name, but she's amazing and I really love her character. But it's just her. There's no one else. No trainees who are Black that like appear for an episode or more than an episode. It's just kind of like, what? And all the male love... one thing that's also bothering me about this show is like all the male love interests are some variation of white. I'm like... Black guys are hot, like I get it, but no one else? Like that's it? Because I mean, there is Jacob Artist who was on Glee. On Glee, he was half Black and Jewish. I don't know if the actor is as well, but he's definitely mixed with Black. And he's on the show as a recurring character, and he's supposed to be the love interest of I forgot her name. I think her name is Nikki, the Latina character. But she's not even like one of the leads. Like she's not one of the main characters, in my opinion. I mean, she kind of is, but she isn't. Like she's not as much as like Alex or Nima or fuck, what's the white girl's name? I forgot her name. Why do I want to say Kelsey? It's not Kelsey. Shelby, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Sorry, Shelby. And the actress who plays her, I'm sorry. I'm terrible. But no, yes, but like it's usually like those three of like the females, and then the black female director are like the main four like female characters. Nima and her twin. Nima and what's her twin's name? Gosh, I'm behind on the show. But yes, all the male love interests and like leads are all some variation of white. Even the guy who's like their trainer, who has like feelings for Alex, he's white too. I'm like, what? Just no brothers. No brothers. The only black male character of any like consequence whatsoever for me is like the black female director's son, who was like involved in like terrorist activities and stuff like that, and they're kind of like watching him and trying to make sure he isn't like connecting with like his terrorist friends and gonna like blow anything else up or like try to fuck shit up. He's the only one, and he's not anyone's love interest because he's a teenager, I think. So that doesn't do anything. Anyway, and I feel like it's just problematic that there's no... I mean, it's not problematic. I mean, it's whatever. But I just feel like it's just... It just paints the idea that, like, only, like, hot white guys can get with, like, these attractive, beautiful women of color, and then the white girl who's on the show as well. Like, these beautiful women of color, which you kind of also see on Scandal to a large degree. Like, Liv's main love interests are really just Jake and Fitz, and they're both white. Like I said, we did have Brian White for a hot second, but he was evil, so that kind of doesn't do anything. What else? And then How to Get Away with Murder, Annalise was married to a white man. Not that I have a problem with interracial love. Love is love. It's all good. But I mean, can we get some more black male characters in some of these shows? You know? Because I feel like they either don't stick around, or they're evil, or they're not good enough to be with some of them, you know? And I'm just like, that's low-key fucked up. But whatever, that's just me. Yeah, Quantico. All the love interests, all the male love interests are some variation of white, which, if you want to do that, that's fine, but... I digress. Now, Agent Carter was canceled. My heart is literally in pieces right now because that show gave me all the life. All the life. It was so good. I love Haley Atwell. I love Peggy. I love that show so much. I even really grew to love her eventual relationship with Agent Sousa. You know, I was definitely a firm shipper of Peggy and Cap, and that pairing remains to be his best relationship in my opinion. Because we'll get into Sharon some other time, because I know Civil War just came out. I don't want to really spoil too much, but like people know about Sharon and Cap in the comics, so I'm sure I didn't spoil too much just by saying that. If I did, I apologize. But yes, I grew to love Peggy and Sousa, and you know, the show, I feel like, you know, the first season was definitely stronger than the second. The second season, I don't know, the Zero Matter thing kind of got boring for me, got old real fast. But I did like that they had that scientist, I'm so horrible with these names, played by that black actor, and like Peggy did have, you know, an interracial relationship with a black man, and we got to see a black man be portrayed as desirable in one of these shows, which was nice, you know, a nice change of pace. Although definitely between him and Sousa, I definitely preferred Sousa because it was cute. You could see that from season 1, he had a thing for her, and it's just so cute. I was just like, oh, that's character development. That's progress. I love it. But anyway, it got canceled, so that's bullshit. I'm not happy about that. Fuck. Now, Agent Carter gets canceled, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets to stay. Now, for those of you who like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this video is probably not going to be within a likable space for you, for lack of better words. You may want to just back out now because I fucking hate Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hate that show so bad. Oh man. Let me tell you something. You see that poster right there? You see that? You see Natasha right there? You see X-Men? I am a Marvel whore. I love Marvel. I like DC too. I have a Batman poster over there in the corner because it's not as we're not going to get into that here. I'm a Marvel whore. I love Marvel and DC, but Marvel has always been number one for me because I love the X-Men. That's like my number one thing. I'm all about the X-Men. I'm all about Daredevil, Elektra, Runaways. What else we got down there? Young Avengers, all that. Avengers, you know, I've always been all about Marvel. But this show, I tried so hard to watch this show. I promise you, I tried. I always get to like the third episode or something like that, and then I just can't watch it anymore. I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. I'm just not feeling it. I'm just like, who are these fuck nobodies? I don't know any of you people. Of course, we know now that Sky Johnson is Daisy Johnson from the comics, but I don't care about her. I don't even know her. I didn't read any S.H.I.E.L.D. comics like that. I was never really into it like that. But at the same time, when I first heard that the show was coming out, I was super pumped because I thought we were going to get the classic team of like, you know, Captain America, Nick Fury, Dum Dum Dugan, who else? George Washington Bridge, like a lot of the like Howling Commandos, and Contessa Valentina, who else? I think also, well, you get the idea. Like that version of the team. Like I thought we were gonna get all of them, but no. Like what? I like Coulson, but he's better off in the movies because now he's just trapped on this show. The main Avengers in the movies and shit still don't know he's alive, even though Sif was on the show. I'm like, Sif, you ain't gonna tell Thor that Coulson's alive? Like what? Anyway, I never could really get into the show. It just has a bunch of fuck nobodies. Grant, Ward. Melinda May is awesome. I will give them that. She was one of the only things that I would have kept watching the show for. And I found out that Bobby Moores, aka Mockingbird, is now on the show and played by an actress that I like, who I've seen in other shit. But I don't care to watch the show to get to her because she doesn't come in until like I think late season 1 or like season 2, and I'm not gonna watch it. Like I don't have any desire to watch the show. I'm sorry. Even Lorelai, who is the sister of the Enchantress, because I love the Enchantress. I'm all about the Enchantress. I would have watched it for Lorelai as well, but I can't watch this show. And now they're like just springboarding the Inhumans on us, and I'm just like, But anyway, my whole thing about that is that shitty show gets to stay, but Agent Carter has to leave. Like I said, I feel like the second season kind of went downhill in a little bit from like season 1, because season 1 was amazing. Just amazing. That's why it got renewed. But season 2, it kind of went downhill just a little bit. But I felt like it still wasn't horrible enough to get canceled. I feel like S.H.I.E.L.D. should be canceled, and then Carter should stay, but that's just me. Anyway, that was not the most coherent video, which is why it's a rant. So let it be known, this is a rant. I'll try to come up with something a lot more analytical when I come up with more videos. And ABC, step it up. You can do a lot more with the things that you're doing. So far, the characters of color that they do choose to include have been portrayed very well. I feel like a lot of other network shows could learn from them. Look at Annalise, look at Liv, look at Alex Parrish, and like see how like a person of color can be portrayed in like such a complex, engaging way, you know, with excellent character development. I'm like, these other shows, especially the CW, I'm looking at you, could definitely take some notes. But other than that, where are my brothers at? Where are my black men at? Let's give them some love interest, and some parts in some of these shows, other than being the brother or like the love interest who's there for 3.5. Like, Anyway, peace.